Trade rumors involving Nick Robertson are gaining steam after he requested to be traded from the Toronto Maple Leafs. This request caught many by surprise, given Robertson's evident talent and potential to become a standout player in the NHL. His ability to score goals and his dynamism on the ice make him a valuable asset, which makes the situation even more intriguing. News of his trade request quickly spread, sparking speculation about which teams would be interested in acquiring a player with his skills. The possibility of such a significant trade is moving the market and leaving fans and analysts curious about the next steps for the Leafs and Robertson himself. Furthermore, Robertson's desire to leave Toronto has raised questions about what led to this decision. Some believe he hasn't been given the opportunities he needs to excel at the NHL level, while others suggest he could be seeking an environment where he can play a more prominent role. Leafs management, meanwhile, is in a delicate position, trying to balance the player's desires with the team's interests. The coach and managers will need to carefully evaluate trade proposals that arise, ensuring that any move benefits the team in the long term. Robertson's situation isn't unique, but it's certainly one of the most closely watched this season given his promise and the potential impact he could have on any new team. Maple Leafs fans are divided on Robertson's possible departure. While some understand his desire to pursue new opportunities, many mourn the potential loss of a player who could become a key part of the team. The trade discussion also brought up debates about managing young talent in the NHL and how teams can balance player development with the need for immediate results. Regardless of the outcome, the Nick Robertson saga is far from over and will continue to be a hot topic in hockey conversations, reflecting the complexities and emotions involved in trade decisions in the NHL. A proposed trade involving Nick Robertson for Ryan Suzuki and a fourth-round pick is generating a lot of discussion among hockey fans and analysts. The trade was initially suggested by some NHL writers and insiders, but many consider the offer insufficient to reflect Robertson's true value. Nick Robertson has shown great potential and exceptional skills throughout his career, even with limited opportunities in the NHL. His ability to score goals and his dynamic style of play make him a valuable asset to any team. In contrast, Ryan Suzuki, while also a promising prospect, has yet to reach the same level of performance and impact that Robertson has shown in his NHL appearances. Critics of the proposed trade argue that the Leafs would be losing a player with a much higher growth ceiling than Suzuki's. Additionally, the fourth-round pick offered in the trade is seen as a weak compliment considering Robertson's potential. The expectation is that if the Leafs decide to trade Robertson, they could get a more attractive offer, possibly involving a higher caliber prospect or a higher draft pick. The situation is complicated by the fact that Robertson has asked to be traded, which could lower his market value as other teams know he wants out of Toronto. However, many believe Leafs management should wait for an offer that truly reflects Robertson's talent and potential. This trade proposal also raises questions about the Leafs' long-term strategy. With the team already facing salary constraints and looking to strengthen its squad to be competitive in the playoffs, every move needs to be carefully considered. Trading Robertson for what many consider to be an inferior offer could be seen as a step backwards for the team. On the other hand, keeping a player who wants to leave can create discontent and affect team chemistry. The situation calls for a balanced approach, where the Leafs need to weigh Robertson's desire against the value they can get in a trade, ensuring the team remains strong and competitive for seasons to come. Nick Robertson's potential and ability to score goals at the NHL level are widely recognized by fans and analysts alike. Since being drafted, Robertson has shown flashes of brilliance, especially in critical moments where his finishing ability and speed on the ice stood out. Robertson's youth and talent suggest he still has a lot to grow and offer on the professional hockey scene. However, the recent news that his group asked him to be traded from Toronto brought a new dynamic to his trajectory with the Maple Leafs. This trade request, while surprising, does not diminish the perception that Robertson could be one of the NHL's premier players in the future. Despite the trade request, the Leafs are in a position where they can opt to keep Robertson on the team. The main reason for this is the undeniable potential it brings. On a team that already faces significant salary caps, losing a young talent like Robertson without adequate compensation could be a blow to the team's aspirations. Furthermore, with the free agent market and trades always being a risky move, keeping Robertson could be the best option available to the Leafs right now. He still has an entry-level contract into the league, making him a valuable asset in terms of value for money. By developing Robertson internally and giving him more opportunities on the ice, the Leafs can make the most of his potential while managing their salary constraints. Keeping Nick Robertson, despite his trade request, also involves a bet on the organization's ability to manage and perhaps even turn around the current situation. The management team and coaches would need to work closely with Robertson to ensure he feels valued and sees a clear path for his development and success within the organization. Ultimately, the decision to keep Robertson despite his desire to leave will depend on how the Leafs balance their immediate needs with their long-term aspirations. The ability to cultivate internal talent and resolve issues of internal discontent will be crucial to the Leafs' continued success in the NHL. Prospect Cade Weber has stood out in the Leafs development camp, mainly due to his commitment to being a defensive defenseman. Since being acquired, Weber has made his role and priorities clear on the ice, emphasizing the importance of blocking shots and protecting the defensive zone. This approach has drawn positive attention from coaches and teammates alike, who see him as a future pillar of the Leafs defense. During development camp, Weber dedicated himself to perfecting his defensive skills, participating in drills focused on blocking shots and improving his defensive stance. His commitment and work ethic have been praised, showing that he is willing to do whatever it takes to excel and contribute significantly to the team. In addition to his dedication to defensive tasks, Cade Weber also impresses with his physicality and presence on the ice. With an imposing stature, he adds a dimension of robustness to the Leafs' defensive line, something the team has sought to balance its game. Weber is not just a passive defender, he is proactive in disarming opponents and protecting his goalkeeper. His ability to read the game and anticipate opposing moves makes him a valuable asset to the defense. During practice, Weber showed steady improvement, quickly adapting to the Leafs' style of play and gaining the coach's trust. His evolution and performance on the development pitch suggest he could be a key element in the team's defensive formation in the coming years. Cade Weber's impact on the Leafs development camp also goes beyond his technical skills. His positive attitude and desire to learn have made him an example for other prospects. Weber demonstrated a growth mindset, always seeking feedback and working hard to improve. This type of behavior not only improves your own chances of success, but also raises the level of competition and effort among your peers. The environment at Leafs development camp has been highly competitive, and the presence of dedicated players like Weber only strengthens the culture of hard work and determination. With his clear commitment and robust defensive skills, Cade Weber is positioning himself as a promising prospect who could have a significant impact on the Leafs defense in the future. The Leafs are currently focused on strengthening their team's physicality and defensive skills, a strategy that aligns with current trends in the NHL. The modern game requires not only speed and defensive skill, but also a robust defense capable of withstanding opposing pressure and effectively protecting the defensive zone. Along these lines, Cade Weber stands out as a notable and promising addition to the Leafs' defensive prospects. His defensive approach, characterized by blocking shots and neutralizing opposing attacks, is exactly the type of skill the Leafs are looking for to solidify their defense. Weber's inclusion in development camp underscores the Leafs' intention to build a stronger, more physical defensive line for future seasons. In addition to Cade Weber, the Leafs have made other moves to increase the strength of their defense. The focus on adding defensive players with physical skills is a direct response to needs noted during recent seasons, where the team has at times struggled to maintain defensive integrity under pressure. The new defensive prospects, including Weber, are part of a larger strategy to create a more impenetrable and resilient defense. The development of these players is vital as they represent the future of the Leafs' defensive line. The coaching staff is investing significant time and resources into training these young talents, ensuring they are well prepared for the challenges of the NHL. Cade Weber, with his defensive mentality and impressive physicality, fits perfectly into this new vision of the Leafs. His presence on the development pitch is already being felt, with many recognizing his potential to become a key defender in the first team. Weber's emphasis on being a solid defender, combined with the Leafs' philosophy of strengthening the defense, creates a synergy that promises long-term benefits for the team. The expectation is that with the continued development of these young defensive players, the Leafs can not only improve their defensive performance, but also gain the depth necessary to compete at the highest level. The Leafs' commitment to physical, rugged defense, exemplified by the rise of Cade Weber, signals a new era for the team where defensive security and physical toughness will become cornerstones of their continued success in the NHL.